YouTube. We're back this time with a very, very special reaction, man. This time we're going to be doing Nas Kings Disease brand new album right here, 13 tracks, 38 minutes long right here. The first track is going to be Kings Disease as well. Now listen, I've never listened to a full album for Nas, but at the same time, I do know about Illmatic. I do know about Stillmatic. It was written. Of course, I've listened to tracks, but I've never actually listened to the full project when it comes to those projects. But at the same time, I do know about that project he did with Kanye West at the same time, but I've listened to selective tracks. I haven't listened to the full project. Some unexpected features right here. Given that you would have listened to Big Sean and Don Toliver be on the track with Nas, at the same time I would have listened to Lil Durk be with Nas, but he did sound good with Drake, and I wasn't expecting that type of feature right there as well. Anderson .Paak, I would have expected a bit more because he has that type of vibe that could actually go with the type of production that Nas usually likes to go for. But let's see how this is going to be either way, man. Get to the first track, Kings Disease. Excited for this project. Let's see how it's going to be.
I made the fade famous, the chain famous. QB on my chest, master stainless. Amazing grace, I'm gracefully aging. Without masonry, I made more paper to play with. No rap in my playlist. Sold out on my day shift. So can I breathe? Can I walk? Can I speak? Can I talk? Can I floss without you wanting me? I'll line and chalk. Family gossiping, pocket watching him. Jealousy keeps blossoming. Ain't let it box me in. Cause you are not a king if you can't come out of thing that you got yourself in. Claiming nobody helping. The stupidest part of Africa produced blacks that started algebra. Proof facts. Imagine if you knew that as a child, bro. Nostalgia. How I remember things. Remember crowns. Remember kings. They want your reign to cease. You a king.
This instrumental right here sounds great.
Your own king. Most definitely.
This instrumental right here sounds great so far. I do like the way the background vocals sound, but yeah. This track is good so far. Has some nice lyrics right here for sure. We're expecting the lyrical ability from Nas because that's the type of rapper he is.
Y'all estrogen speak, respected by kings only, address me as cheap, invested in things only a vet would. Only lames front on kings, that's expected from creeps. You mad at my and any woman with interest in me, you could have made it, it was good.
Man.
Look at all the time wasted, now you gotta retract statements, should've stuck to the basics. Oh, you had to stop with the over righteousness, it's so lame. This media circus, greedy and worthless, my life.
That is true. That is true.
See me hurt up by me. Real kings everywhere, stand up and come with the game. Kings Disease.
That's a great start right there automatically. This track right here, the instrumental sounds great. The production sounds amazing. His flow sounds great. The lyrics are right there for sure. There's a lot of interesting lines. There was like a funny line about your estrogen speaks. That was funny, bro. But at the same time, there was this line where he said something about making a comparison directly about Africa at the same time that
these things were happening.
They were creating algebra right there. So that was an interesting way of saying it. But either way, let's get to Blue Benz. Great track for the first one right here. Great lyrical ability so far. Let's see how this is going to be right here.
I used to be at the tunnel, 20 deep in the huddle, razors on us that'll make skin bubble, more wet we guzzle. Chris Lighty let me in a few times with nines, that's on God, wish you would've walked by and bumped me harder, just looked at me wrong, my chain on, try to book me, you gone. Goons, Italian leathers, couple bottles of Dawn, the hustler aura, tap in, razor cutter, 90s, 80s lover, raising gutters, razor bumper, they made it about the hood subject, I made you love it. Crazy,
nice chick,
she had a blue Benz, a Jersey penthouse, she used to pimp girls that would turn rich men out. Her cabbage was so savage. She hear voices and see ghosts on the average of a stepdad. He raised her from a cabbage. She was 12 when he passed. She's been in hell since that. Her grandma raised her. I met her in Kingston, Jamaica, with veteran kingpins, bought acres. Rest in peace, Louis Bacon, original. Don Dada.
Yeah, this shit is fire right here, bro. This shit is fire.
Life is a test, so congratulations to your success. For having patience. You deserve the best. You know how they do.
Bro, that beat is the switch up on that beat, and at certain points the way he keeps switching his flow. Yeah, this is a nasty track right here. I thought the first track was great, but this track right here sounds fire too. That's a good start right there for sure. That's actually what you have to have. Focus on your purpose for sure. Have patience and you have success for sure.
People I ain't even met, taking out my check. They the biggest gangsters. I respect the jokes. We buying big boy mansions.
Yeah, the IRS is the biggest gangsters, to be honest. So yeah, that's definitely 2 for 2 for Nas right here. Let's see how it's going to be with the third track, Car Number 85, featuring Charlie Wilson. We did listen to Charlie Wilson on the track with JID and IDK. And that was my first time listening to him. If I'm not mistaken, he was the guy doing the vocals on that track, but maybe I was wrong. I can't remember correctly, but I do feel like he was the guy with the vocals. Let's see how it's going to be right here. It probably sounds good as well, but let's see how it's going to be right here, bro. This has like a soulful vibe already.
They call me Babyface in 88. I'm 40th and Broadway. They made me stay and wait. Cab service, car 85. 10 minutes, they back in the car. Not safe to drive. Narcos are looking. Secret compartments in the ride, so keep pushing. We get stopped, hiding between the seat cushions. She said, visit me. That's if you really miss me. I did. Show proof. 10 outside our building. That's what I go.
I don't know why it has not the explicit version right.
Nike Air Trainer 3s, 2 fingers on the answer. I'm losing her slowly. Plus my other girl is starting to move on the homie. Hopping 85, bro, with me.
So I do enjoy this track. I do enjoy the background vocals from Charlie Wilson as well. Nas has a good flow right here, but at the same time, I feel like it's just a decent track compared to the first 2 tracks. I did enjoy the first 2 tracks much, much more. Kings Disease and Blue Benz sounded much, much better for me compared to this track. This is still a good track, but compared to those first 2 tracks, I feel like I had much more of a, much more of a replay value if you want to put it that way. Like, I wouldn't feel like I would replay this track. Ultra Black, let's see how this is going to be. I never listened to this track. This was released before the project, but let's see how it's going to be.
Yeah, we going Ultra Black. I got a toast to that. We don't fold it. We going, occasion we rolls to that. Going postal. We going Ultra Black. Watching the global change. Hopping the coldest range. Hit boy on the beat. This poster slap. We going Ultra Black. We going pitch black like the night. I'm Ultra Black. Set for the sun reruns, jokes are black. Oh yes, God bless success. We going
I like this one more.
Like the S is fast, talk with a mask on. The freshest breath, African black soap, caress the flesh. Super fly the Mac, sitting fly in the lap.
So there's definitely an emphasis on this track, of course, on embracing his culture, on embracing being ultra black, as he says right here on this track. I do like the flow, I do like the production, the melody right here when it comes to, like, it's a very slight melody that you hear in the production as well, in the instrumental, but it sounds good. I do enjoy it so far. I would say I do like this one so far a bit more than Car 85 compared, but let's keep listening to the message. Given what's been happening recently, the unfortunate circumstances with George Floyd, now it's obvious to me the way that he did decide to put this as a single compared to some of the track being released.
The soldier rag, we going ultra black, unapologetically black. The opposite of Doja Cat, Michael Black's in black. We going ultra
I remember they talked about that.
We don't fold it. Black like cornrows, afros, black like hat, black ball from the Super Bowl. Holla notes, I can't go for that. Motown Museum, Detroit, I'm ultra black.
So that was a good track for sure. A very, very good message right here as well. I would put Blue Benz first. I would put Kings of Seas second. Then I would put third Ultra Black. Cardi 5 number 4 so far, featuring Charlie Wilson. Let's see how 27 Summers is going to be, but this wasn't as good as a production compared to the first 2 tracks, I would say. But given the flow and the way the message overall makes it a better track than, say, Cardi 5. But I still would put the first 2 tracks as the best ones so far.
Courtside Rockets Warriors, hurry up. Smoking in the tux, sipping Rashard, sitting on Governor's Eye with all the killers. Premiere movies with my man De Niro and Johnny Nunez. Got all
Robert
the pictures. Black grown, black owned, black women is the backbone. Latin food in the back room. Big business, I'ma drop a new yak soon. Following the cash moves.
Damn, this beat.
Matte Black Rose, yeah, I gotta see it ghost. 27 summers, that wasn't even the goal. Blow clouds and we all for the smoke. Black car, black rose, more black CEOs.
Oh shit, this beat is fire.
Good proof, pull me up. Mass appeal, movies and music, start with us. All my millionaires, G-Code know what's up. What up, John, what up, Shout, what up, Kent, what up, East, what they say about us.
This is the best beat.
Black Rose, yeah, I gotta see it ghost. 27 summers, that wasn't even the goal. Blow clouds and we all for the smoke.
This tough. Hold up, I want to listen to that track for sure, Big Sean and Don Toliver. But this track right here, 27 Summers, has the best beat so far without a doubt, bruh. That beat was crazy right there. I like the way it sat. It had like that melody right there. How do you say the dun 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 dun? Like that type of melody. You get what the fuck I'm trying to say, bruh. But either way, 27 Summers right here. The flow was great. The beat was great. Shit, I might put this one number 2. I think I might put Blue Benz number 1, 27 Summers number 2. And you know the order. Kings and Seas number 3. We just keep going. But either way, Big Sean and Don Toliver right here. Replace Me. Unexpected top of features right here for sure. I'm not even sure how this shit is gonna sound right here, but like Nas and Big Sean and Don Toliver. Don Toliver's for like the top of melodic vibes. Doing this combination right here with Nas, I'm not sure, bro. Let's see how it's gonna be.
Like a battery, you can't mistake them for nasty. You know my anatomy, you know my body is voodoo probably. Kama Sutra, Mr. Uchiwali. She hit the wall, I'm in control, I'm in her soul. Sugar daddy sometimes, no sugar coat in one line. When we talk, but she thought she could have found a new guy. That kid alright, but I'm a kryptonite. I'm one.
Yeah, Don Toliver sounds great here.
I spent like 10,000 hours, I must have bought you 10,000 flowers, ignoring red flags and audibles. I even bought your daughter clothes and your father clothes, and I bought you diamonds.
Damn.
Even though I got a heart of gold. And on your enemies we rode, I go Picasso auto war. We a different pedigree, I did some foul and cross the line. You see
Big Sean, you might be doing too much.
I never gave you infidelity and tried to wreck your credibility. I'm not.
Yeah, that track right there was much better than I expected it to be honest. That track was very good. Big Sean had a great flow. Although he was doing way too much when it came to the, listen, like, you buying her whole family shit too. Like, what's going on, bruh? Relax. But either way, Don Toliver sounded great right here with the flow. The melodic type of vibe actually fit with this track. I wasn't expecting it to fit that perfectly, to be honest. Then Nas came into the track, sounded great. Then Big Sean came into the track, it sounded great too. Sometimes unexpected collaborations actually end up working, to be honest.
Single mothers, my heart's bleeding for you. Scout with men that were beating on you. Never me. The silence them with a silencer. For the balance of relationships. Hold your head up, don't take that. Run away from it. I should've ran away myself. The amount of pain I was dealt. And I'm a man, my job is to help. Single parent home came up, now the man is grown. Y'all the strongest ones. May God give strength to women who lost their sons. I give all I have to the wars won.
That was a good flow right there too.
I give all I have to the wars won.
To the wars won. Yeah, good message right here for the mothers that are raising kids alone.
Everything getting exposed. Who really the bros? Who really is gold?
Who really the bros, bro?
All the presents we hold.
Complaining about my ring, but I know my mama gave me. She told me to be a man, now I'm sick of problem. University and the streets, I plan on going to college. Why you cry about low income and welfare? You ain't the only one going through it, this ain't well.
And the other one.
Reason my people dead, and they know I still care. Depending on the people, then you gotta do better. Black lives matter, I'm for real to do man. Black on black crime, they still do it to whoever. Talking to the changes, we just gotta do better. He think he Martin Luther, but he tryna be a shooter. Got his car, took you out with guns.
Yeah, this is a tough subject
Talking
right
where
here.
we from, we carry Max but no computers. He got out yesterday, but he went in when he was Jew.
So this is an interesting one, and I feel like people might even take this into something else. Usually, if you pay attention, usually people, that narrative of black on black crime is used by one side compared to the other side, and they use it to try to diminish what happens with police brutality, right? But if you're aware, you realize that people who are fighting against police brutality obviously also care about the black on black crime, because obviously you care about that situation as well, but it seems like some people might, I don't understand why on the other side some people actually think like, oh, you're not caring about this side. Now obviously you care about every single situation that affects your community. That should be obvious to me, to be honest. But either way, when it comes to this, it's a good message for sure, because they're trying to say, okay, we got to do better as well, but at the same time, you know where they're coming from being themselves saying this, because he also talks about how he's ultra black, how Black Lives Matter for sure, because he definitely feels like he's somebody important. Of course, if you get what I'm trying to say, the way he's talking about himself in ultra black, how do you even say, like having that feeling good about yourself, basically about who you are for real. But at the same time, when it comes to the War Is Won right here, interesting track, because I wasn't expecting Lil Durk to sound like this, to be honest, with the track being with Nas, and it sounds very, very good, but I understand the message for sure. I do understand it. Like this is a good message for sure as well. All bad right here, Anderson Park.
Time passes by, I'm asking why. You match my fly, no cap, no lie. Trophy on candy, but I'm better without it. It's a dub, my love, but I gotta reroute it. It's a lottery, it's loaded. Hope I can see all the motives before she make a fool out of me. I should know cause I'm older. Wasn't meant for me, fuck it, we ain't agree on the subject. We look
you should definitely know.
We was out in the public, you used to brighten my day. Had me hype as a kid.
Have some allergies, my bad.
I don't love you till it's far from true. Even took you to the barbecue. That should show how much I feel. I know I gotta make the choice. I have to let you off. I have to take the loss. I might have to take the loss.
Beautiful fly girls caught my eye. Taking down some of the girls, drinking Future to down. But I got no time for juveniles, throwing tantrums, texting me that.
Drizzy and Future as well.
Here's too. Call me, this is you. Stolen, guess we threw you with.
It's interesting that he said that, because how would Drake and Future feel about listening to those lyrics right there? So that was definitely another great track, but I felt like there was a very, very drastic change compared to the way the other two previous tracks sounded, because the Lil Durk track and the Don Toliver track had a much more of a different type of melodic vibe. How do you say? Anderson .Paak is also having this type of melodic vibe, but in a very, very drastically different way. So kind of an unexpected change of sounds, if you want to put it, the way this is positioned right here. Not sure if it's the best way so far, but I do like all three tracks so far. So maybe once I listen to the entire project, this might actually be the best way to actually fit right here with these features right here. But let's see how the definition is going to be featuring Brucey B. Hopefully I said that shit right, bro.
Yeah, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. Travelers, African, Latin, white tappers. Here come the people, run my people, they don't treat us equal. I'm talking the law, for me, freedom is illegal. Take telephone conversations, what kind of nation got 200 million people they investigating? The us they call the super predators, stupid words from the president's mouth. Where are his editors? Antarctica, 65 degrees. Global warming, they don't want to believe. And they're hanging people on trees. And what the f is up with Gail King? A black male and female thing, a failed thing.
Crazy.
Journalism or internalism. Shirley Chisholm wouldn't play the victim. Eartha Kitt would have been finished with him. Top of the charts, guarding my heart.
Listen, hold everybody accountable. This is facts right here. Nas is holding everybody accountable. This is facts. Yo, King, what the fuck were you doing when you did that shit? That shit was stupid as hell. That shit is pathetic. What the hell is up with that shit, bro? That shit is weird. Anyway, when it comes to what he said right here, that super predators, how do you say? I can't even say the word, bro. Super predators. Listen, English isn't even my first language. Fuck it. But yeah, hold the Clintons accountable, hold Trump accountable, hold everybody accountable, bro. Like honestly, all these motherfuckers are fucking bullshit, to be honest, bro. All these motherfuckers are bullshit. I'ma just say this shit like that. Democrats and Republicans are trash. It is what it is, bro. These shits are trash. These journalists, not really journalists either.
Brim like Goldie talking. Prior listener, my prior women had no remorse when they tried to end up no discourse, no discussion. I'm all alone, and all the people with the big hats on went home. So what you gonna do now, Goldie? Your bottom left you. It's up to me and you, Goldie. Do introspection. You ain't Goldie, you nines, and my heart ain't cold as it was. And I go through multiple love triangles over and over enough. I talk to my boxing trainer.
He was cornered, no worries for the naughty, it was high performance, it wasn't really. The games that I was playing was silly, similar to them days when I was packing that millie, it could've killed me. Cause it never crossed in my mind, she calling crime. Being more concerned why she ain't falling in line, was bugging. For a lot since they said I was stubborn, guess it's real, even players be loving. When you in the dirt,
I was dealing since adolescent, thinking my girl was my possession. I stand corrected. It takes understanding and affection. Time is money. I need growth for my investment. I don't like attention unless it's a woman with majestic grace, like an embrace and essence. Let's just chill, catch vibes in the.
Everybody has a great flow right here.
No cap though, facts though, that's really rap though. Like really though, my she really rap though. Like really though, my she really rap though. In my low ski low.
Has like a staccato flow right here. Yeah, so everybody had a great flow right there for sure. Very, very different type of flows at the same time, but that actually fit perfectly as well. And these vibes that he has, different type of vibes, because listen, going from this to something like Anderson .Paak to Lil Durk to Big Sean and Don Toliver is drastically different right here on 6 to 10 when it comes to the track list, if you want to put it that way. But it's interesting because it actually sounds good overall when it comes to the project. It doesn't sound bad. That just be something crazy.
America, the beautiful, gangsta's paradise. For a black man to be rich, you say we sacrifice our own family members. Like we're not savvy enough to make our standard figures. And ain't nobody in no cult. I give so much financially give away, but there's an aspect of that that's crippling to us today. Still coping and dealing with my environment as a kid. I trust no one today because what someone in my past did. King, gotta learn to let it go and move forward. King, you should learn to say no, keep all your dough in. King, Michael Jordan gives back and you didn't know it. Like LeBron does, but it's just seldom they show it. King, get 10 points from one bird doing your thing.
People do it different ways.
So one of your homies decide to sing. Keep doing what you do, you can't please everybody. And not everybody is you. Don't try to force a square peg in a round circle. That'll hurt you. Don't try to fit in either. You better off for neither. You better as speakers get medicine when you need it. Especially when we all need knowledge instead of sneakers. Stop.
So the name of this track is 10 Points. It has Michael Jordan references and LeBron James references, talking about the way that MJ gives, but at the same time it might not be quote unquote as public as LeBron does it, but he's basically talking about how people do it in their own way, if you want to put it that way. But yeah, he has this type of overall message when it comes to, even the way he says it right here, King, when it comes to just actually embracing yourself, if you want to put it that way. But the beat sounds good right here, but I feel like there's like a repetitiveness that I don't really feel like it's enjoyable to listen to when it comes to the King. I feel like it doesn't sound as good as some of the parts that actually worked as the quote unquote chorus, if you want to put it that way, on other tracks. But in terms of his flow and the beat, it sounds good overall, but I wouldn't put it as one of my favorite tracks right here.
Too many changes, you change from your greatness, become a byproduct of yourself, all for the paper regardless. The market see you as an old artist, the McCartneys live past the Lennons, but Lennon's the hardest.
Music industry.
Stay on your path, stay on your craft. They just want you to switch your lanes up so they can hate on your. What's in the name? What's in the name? Suffering and pain, guts, blood and tears. Aim straight, game face, king's grace. I came to this thinking you was gonna be this great thing, cause I seen the greats do it with a great queen. What these kings have in common, they had women who silent. Malcolm needed Betty. I met some queens who wasn't ready. They envy the unhappiness of the greats. Okay. They don't have rest in peace, Kobe and Nip. That's off the rip. King, if it ain't about family, don't mean the cure, love other your law. Though they try the phone tapping in with law. Roll the credits.
R.I.P. Nip too. So on this track, he talks about Kobe, rest in peace of Kobe for sure. He talks about Nipsey Hussle, R.I.P. to Nipsey Hussle as well. But then he talks about how the woman in his life weren't ready to be with him the same way he was doing a comparison with Malcolm X and Betty. If I'm not mistaken, that's the name of of Malcolm X's wife. But when it comes to that, yeah, he talks about that at the start as well. Also giving a rest in peace to Kobe and Nipsey Hussle. But let's keep listening to the track and see what actually happens further on the track.
No fortune teller, just going off regular signs. Often tell you they moves without a word, just reading their mind. Wasn't needing no 9, corner executive. Born in ghetto hell with metal yell, especially over necklaces. Life lessons is karma. Whatever you dish out, come back as blessings or to haunt you. Commission kids and hit
that was a nice summary, the way he said it.
That's generational curses. They said they want the old Nas back. Play the clue tapes for old verses. Messing my homies' lives up, saying Nas, so rise them up like they.
That's easily one of the best tracks right here. I do like the way certain parts, the way his cadence was. It sounded like he was basically, he was rhyming things that didn't, let's put it this way, didn't rhyme specifically, but he made it sound great, just the way he was doing his verses right here. Because it just sounded, it had a great flow right here. The beat sounds great too. The Cure is definitely one of my favorite tracks, should I say, excuse me, when it comes to this project. I do actually enjoy this one towards the end as much as I did enjoy the tracks at the top. Let's see how spicy it's going to be, featuring Fabio Foreign and ASAP Ferg. I wasn't expecting this type of features right here as well. Bonus track. See how it's going to be.
Whole squad hot the burners. Mets hat in the sky like Bobby's murder. They watch me like a chimp courtside at the Rucker. Flow only getting tougher. She begging me to cuff her. Brooklyn sweet shake waffles with raspberry butter. Wear a mink at the roller rink middle of the summer. If I can't get it done, I got soldiers with me to cover. Queens white, fuck a bag, any. In these old white nights, they ain't bright. As you tell me, no, I'm getting tight. Look, every time you saw me, I was nice. Every time I saw you, you was light. You look like a dyke. Look, I mean, she might not never be my type. No, might never be my type. Track that precise. Tenants of the flights, keep the vision through the lights. Never blinded by the hype. Keep the timing near the belly, sincere, cause I'm hype. Gotta get on they only care when designer with the knives. I'm the one talking spice. 12-year-old killers with the guns and the knives. Better run for your life.
This shouldn't be a bonus track.
My ex of Puerto Rican spice. Harlem, doing time, getting caught up with the swipe. Kilo K, everybody pricey. Cost money.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a bonus track right there. That track sounded great. That shouldn't be a bonus track, bro. But at least it's a track that's on a project for sure. It's unfortunate that for some reason when it comes to Spotify, we have this version right here that's how do you say, the non-explicit version. I don't know why it has like the cuss words like bleeped out, however you say it. Omit it if you want to put it that way. But either way, when it comes to the project, I definitely have to say track number 2, Blue Benz, is my favorite. One of my favorites for sure. The Cure is a great track. One of the last tracks, track number 12, excuse me, when it comes to my favorite tracks. I would put the tracks to the War Is One and Replace Me as well. Great track for sure. The first track, I can't see it right here, but let me just. Of course, the first track was Kings and Seas. I forgot that shit that quickly, bro. But either way, Kings and Seas as well. I would say, yeah, those are my favorite tracks for sure. Let me know down below in the comment section which are your favorite tracks. This has unexpected sounds because of the features, unexpected vibes when it comes to the production, given the melodic type of sound some artists have right here, like Don Toliver, Lil Durk, even Anderson .Paak to an extent, but he sounds like he would fit. But they actually did fit. Let me know if you do actually agree with that, but that's going to be it. Subscribe for some of the videos. Nas right here, Kings of Seas. I would say this is a good project overall. 13 tracks. I'm out. Peace.